Conservative new media viewers, JLin fans around the world, Charlotte Hornets fans around the world. What's up? It's me, PFV, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert, and we're here to discuss Charlotte's 102-94 loss tonight to the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden, New York City. Knicks improved to 6-6. Hornets fall to 5-6 on the season. Let's go over statistics very quickly. The Knicks were led by a masterful performance from rookie Kristaps Porzingis, 29 points, 11 rebounds. Carmelo Anthony, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Aaron Aflalo, 16 points. Charlotte got 31 points from starting point guard Kemba Walker. I know some people are upset because Kemba only had one assist in this game, even though he played 38 minutes. Look, I think Kemba had some missed assists in this game, meaning he passed the ball to guys and they missed shots. So I don't think it was all Kemba's fault. I thought Kemba went into scoring mode, and I thought for the most part it was pretty effective. He shot over 50% in this game, and I thought he played pretty well. The bench was very good for the Hornets in this game. They had three double-digit scores in this game off the bench: Spencer Hawes, Jeremy Lamb, and JLin. JLin, 13 points. He played 28 minutes, shot 4 of 9 from the field, 0 of 2 from three-point range, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, no steals, no block shots, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, and Jeremy's plus-minus was a +3. Jeremy came into the game with, I believe, an 18.37 PER, which is good. It will be going a little bit down after tonight, but he played a very good game tonight, and we'll talk about it more. Also, Jeremy got the most minutes off the bench, so he played kind of more of the sixth man role tonight than did Jeremy Lamb. What happened in the game was this game went back and forth, and Charlotte had control of it for a good portion of the game. The third quarter, though, the Knicks turned the tables. They outscored Charlotte by 10 points in that frame. Then New York had the advantage heading into the fourth quarter. I think they led by 8 at that point. They held on as both teams scored 22 points apiece in the final quarter. The one thing that probably hurt the Hornets the most tonight was they didn't shoot their free throws well enough. They made 17 out of 25 free throws. If they could have hit a few more of those, then they might have had they would have had a better opportunity to win this game, certainly. And also the Hornets were not able to convert three-point shots in this game, which is very important for their offense. Charlotte shot 5 of 20 from three-point range in this game for 25%, whereas the Knicks were 10 of 20 for 50%. So basically, just in that statistic, the Knicks were plus 15 points over the Hornets tonight, and that was a very big factor in this game, as again were the free throw misses for the Hornets. That's the main thing here. Look, the Hornets took care of the ball. They only had 7 turnovers. They controlled New York in transition. New York only had 2 fast break points. Charlotte played a pretty good game. The main problem was the starters didn't have energy and the shooting aspects that I mentioned before. 3-point shooting, free throw shooting. The starters just weren't able to kind of match the energy of the Knicks starters, and the bench had to do all the heavy lifting, and in the second half, it just wasn't quite enough, basically. And that's essentially what happened in this game. Now, as I said, even though Jeremy's PER is going to go down in this game, he played really well. And I'm glad that Steve Clifford stayed with him and kind of recognized how well Jeremy was playing. Jeremy played the 4th most minutes of any Hornets player in this game. Kemba, 38 minutes. Batum, 35 minutes. Marvin Williams, 30 minutes. JLin, 28 minutes. I should also mention that Marvin Williams got ejected in this game late because of an incident with Lou Amundsen. There was a play, on the play before Williams got ejected, I think Lou Amundsen kneed him in the midsection or something. And then on the opposite end of the court, Marvin Williams went up for a rebound and seemed to elbow Lou Amundsen in the face. And so the referees called it a flagrant foul number 2, and Marvin got kicked out of the game. I don't know if that had a huge impact on the outcome of the game, however, but just wanted to mention that. Also, I should mention that P.J. Hairston did not play in this game because of a thigh contusion, which is a thigh bruise, and he suffered in the previous game. So the Hornets played 9 men, and they were effective when they were able to get in transition and play with pace. Jeremy really helped in that regard, and he was like a whirlwind in the first half. He was just moving up and down the court really fast, giving the Knicks a bunch of problems, and it really worked for the Hornets well in this game. He was a little less effective in the second half, but he wasn't getting foul calls that I think he should have been getting. Okay. The only thing negative I can say for Jeremy in this game at all was he was 0 for 2 in 3-pointers, and his assisted turnover ratio isn't incredible. But he played a good game. He directed the team well. He really forced the tempo, and he just looked good in this game. And what's nice to see with this is Clifford did stay with him. Clifford recognized it, and he kind of broke the pattern that we've seen so much, which is kind of Jeremy Lamb is the kind of go-to sixth man. And that didn't happen in this game. So maybe there's still a chance that Jeremy Lin can win that position, or maybe they're just going to alternate it. And then we go back to the Kevin McHale hot stock, cold stock. However, I know that Steve Clifford he wants to have more of a set lineup. He wants to have a set finishing group. However, based upon things he's said in the past, I think there's a chance that the role of the sixth man or the finisher alongside Kemba in the backcourt could stay alternating for the entire year. In other words, he might have another 3 or 4 guys that he's set with, but that final spot at shooting guard may be alternating between Lin and Lamb throughout the season. Look, that's not perfect, but at least Jeremy Lin then has an opportunity to play more minutes if he's playing well. Now, we'd like him to just be kind of given the confidence, as KP Chan mentioned on Twitter, so that he's just knows that he's going to have that role. But at least he's going to have an opportunity if Steve Clifford decides after a period of time that that's the way he's going to approach things this season. And like I said, I remember after one of the recent post games, I can't remember which game it was, but he basically said we might not have one finishing group, one set finishing group or something like that. Essentially meaning there might be some variation in the finishing group, even though he mentioned, look, Al Jefferson's going to finish most of the games, I would imagine. Kemba Walker's going to finish most of the games, and so on. But looks like there might be some variety in that Lamb shooting guard spot where P.J. Hairston is. I should also mention, and I'll say this a little bit more when we do quarter by quarter, that Clifford went to a small ball lineup later in this game, and it worked. And actually, so Al Jefferson was not on the court late in this game some of the time. And that lineup actually worked. And it makes me think even more that, as I've said previously, I don't know if Al Jefferson's going to be in Charlotte next year, because it looks like they want to run and gun more, and Al's not that type of a player. So overall, the team played well. They definitely could have won this game. It's unfortunate they lost because this was a winnable game. It's one of those games that can come back and bite you later, but it's on the road. It's in the Garden. It's not easy to win, and the Knicks have talent. They're not a terrible team. So that's what things are. And now the Hornets are heading home for a number of games in a row at home, the next 3 of which are all definitely winnable games. So hopefully the team can get those victories and then kind of go over 500 and move from there. Now let's do a little bit of quarter by quarter, just some observations that I saw during this game. Early on, the middle of the first, Charlotte was having problems already, giving up offensive rebounds. One of the things Charlotte's good at, or has been good at, was good at earlier in this season, and they're very good at under Clifford, is getting defensive rebounds, meaning not giving up offensive rebounds. But early on, the Knicks were getting offensive rebounds, and Charlotte they've got to be better disciplined about that. Everybody, the entire team has to get back and rebound. Get on the defensive glass, box your man out, get the defensive glass. Worry a little bit less about getting out on the fast break. Make sure you got the rebound first, then get out on the fast break. JLin came into the game late in the first with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. He came in for Kemba Walker. He then had a blown assist. He was fouled twice. The first foul was on a drive. He made both free throws. Then he was fouled on one of the Knicks set a screen on him to free up the person Jeremy was guarding. That was a foul. It was an illegal screen. No shots on that. Then Jeremy scored he did a pick and roll play. I can't remember who he did it with. Maybe Spencer Hawes. Then he got a layup off a bank shot off the glass, kind of fading away. It wasn't a true layup. It was actually a fading away shot that was from layup distance. Then I think he had another blown assist to end the first quarter. At the end of one quarter, JLin had 4 points at that point. So even though he had been in very short amount of time, he made his impact felt immediately. I think Jeremy's best quarter of the game was the second quarter. So we'll head to that right now. He missed a shot right underneath the rim. He kind of did one of these moves where he dribbled into the lane on the left side of the basket, stopped, pivoted, looked for a shot, really didn't have an angle, and he kind of threw the shot up. Maybe he was trying to get a foul. I don't know. Didn't use the backboard. Didn't go in. Soon after that, he had an assist to Spencer Hawes for a made three-pointer. Then at that point, soon after that moment, Charlotte was on a 10-0 run, and that put them up 33-28. So the starters had gotten into a deficit, but now with Jeremy and the bench, they were getting it all back. They were on a real roll here. He then fouled Jerian Grant, I believe, which led to 2 free throws for Jerian Grant. Then Jeremy had his second assist of the game. He did an alley-oop to Jeremy Lamb for a dunk. This was the same play. This was called as a set play out of a timeout, a designed play. It was the same play we saw in the last game where JLin threw an alley-oop lob to Jeremy Lamb for a dunk after a timeout as well, I think it was. So that play is working well, and it's nice that Jeremy's got somebody that can get up and dunk the ball because we know how well Jeremy can throw the alley-oop passes. Then he was fouled again on the perimeter. No shots, fouled once again for the 4th time on a drive to the right side. He did get shots on that. Made one, missed the second. Heading in the middle of the second quarter, Jeremy then had a layup in transition. And this is when he was just zooming up and down the court. And after he scored this layup, somebody, I don't know who it was, one of the Charlotte players on the bench, and the bench was all up and clapping or cheering, clearing. One of the players, I don't know who it was, they were doing that kind of, the little bow down move, like we're not worthy, because Jeremy was just rolling now. This was like Jeremy Linsanity, Knicks Jeremy. And that put the Hornets up 38-30. Another blown assist, then a defensive rebound, then another blown assist. Jeremy had good number of blown assists in this game. So he could have ended up with many more assists than the 3 that he ended up with. Then second assist, he drove into the paint again, dished the ball off to out Jefferson. Jefferson then a nice little layup on the left side of the backboard. Missed his second shot, did Jeremy, on a three-point attempt over Carmelo Anthony. I think it was a pick and roll, and they got switched. Carmelo was switched on defending Jeremy. Jeremy put up the three-point shot against Carmelo. He just missed it. It was just a little bit to the left of where the ball needed to go, and that's too bad. But then put the note, JLin hyper aggressive. This is how he's got to play. Get in transition and put pressure on the defense. This is Jeremy's best style. This is what he's best at, along with pick and roll plays in the half court offense. Late in the second, then he made a nice play against Porzingis that forced Porzingis into a turnover. He got his third score of the game. He did a little fadeaway shot over Porzingis, and he drove into the lane and then faded away on Porzingis. Then I made the note that says, damn, he is on. Meaning Jeremy's in a groove. He's rolling. He's feeling it. A little bit later, fifth foul of the game. Carmelo Anthony had come down, made a shot. And then sometimes you'll see teams get, like they try to do a fast break even after the other team has scored the ball, and that's what Charlotte did here. Jeremy got the ball, and he ran down the court, and he got fouled going up for a layup. 2 free throws there, make, and then now right after that put Charlotte up 48-40. Okay, then the Knicks made a run, and I put get the freaking ball to Lin. In other words, what was working best here for you to get the lead was going to JLin. You should go back to him now. Fortunately, they got away from him a little bit there, and New York was able to make a run. Jeremy then missed a three-pointer right around as the buzzer sounded for halftime, just a little bit short and to the right. And as we said, keep working on the jump shot. Keep working on the jump shot. He will. I'm sure of that. So then when we went into halftime, the score was 48-46 Charlotte. So the run made by the bench kind of dissipated there at the very end of the half. The Knicks made their own move, and unfortunately that was going to foreshadow what was going to happen later in the game. JLin at the half, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Moving on to the third quarter. Charlotte had come into this game having beaten the Knicks 4 times in a row. Unfortunately, that streak is over now after the game tonight. Jeremy came back into the game with 1 minute and 57 seconds left in the third quarter. At that point, the Knicks had regained the lead, and they were up 72-70. At this time, I believe Jeremy was playing against Jerian Grant, I think. I think Jeremy was playing, he came in for Kemba and was thus playing point guard. Later on in the game, he would play shooting guard, and I think maybe he played some shooting guard before. Then I put JLin drives to the rim, and he got hit twice, and he was charged with a turnover because the ball went out of bounds, but he should have got the call. So this was a turnover, and the Hornets broadcaster look, he got fouled there. He clearly got fouled, and he did. And unfortunately, he did not get the call on that, so that was his first quote-unquote turnover. Then he had a blown assist to a Spencer Hawes 3. Then the Knicks went on another run right at the end there of the third quarter, and they went into the fourth quarter, as I mentioned previously, up by 8 points. Early in the fourth quarter, Jeremy missed pretty badly, missed the rim on a long 2-point attempt. It's one of those things where you catch the ball and you're just not quite kind of set. The Hornets had several of those tonight. Sometimes it happens and it looks really bad, but it's not as bad as it looks. Now, at this point, between the third and the fourth quarters, Clifford had put Kemba back into the game. So now Jeremy was playing shooting guard. Kemba Walker, Jeremy Lin, Jeremy Lamb, Frank Kaminsky, and Spencer Hawes now on the court. Okay, then Jeremy, the Hornets, Kemba hit a shot that cut the lead down to 82-79. And I think this was as close as the Hornets would get for a while. Then Jeremy had a tough little stretch here. He got a defensive rebound. He then came down the court on the right-hand side. He was stripped of the ball in transition against Jose Calderon. Calderon just kind of measured him up, got him in the right spot, and Jeremy lost the ball. Then they came down, I believe Calderon hit a three-pointer following up that play. That made it 85-79. Somebody else hit a three on that play. Then on the next time down, Calderon then hit a three over Jeremy in transition. 88-79, that led to a Charlotte timeout with 8 minutes and 52 seconds left. If this had been Houston, Jeremy would have been taken out of the game right then, even though he shouldn't have been. And fortunately, Clifford didn't do that, even though it was a tough little stretch there. But Jeremy had played so well throughout this game. I'm glad Clifford left him in, and that was going to pay off later. The only substitution that he made at that point was he put in Batum for Frank Kaminsky, and I believe this is when they went to the small ball lineup. The team they were playing at this point, the lineup, Kemba Walker, Jeremy Lin, Jeremy Lamb, Nicholas Batum at the power forward, and Cody Zeller. I don't know if Zeller came in at that point when Batum did, but he was going to come in soon. So no Al Jefferson yet. And playing with shooters and smaller players. And even though the Knicks put this lead up there, the Knicks got this lead, then the small ball unit came in for Charlotte, and then Charlotte made another run. So the small ball experiment worked tonight for the Hornets, and that's good, meaning we'll be seeing it more in the time to come. Okay, then another blown assist to Spencer Hawes, another defensive rebound for Jeremy. Then I thought Jeremy was going to get an assist for a Spencer Hawes made hook shot, but he did not. He was not credited with that, and it's just the way that they decided to do it, which is not a big deal. Spencer Hawes' shot cut the lead 88-81 to the Knicks. Then Jeremy, let's see here. Then Marvin Williams got the flagrant foul against Lou Amundsen, which got him kicked out of it. Then Jeremy went for a defensive rebound. He was right down by the rim. He, Cody Zeller, and Porzingis all jumped at the same time. Porzingis basically went over Jeremy's back, and it was not called, and the ball ended up going to New York. And Cody Zeller wasn't happy with Jeremy because Cody Zeller felt like he had to rebound. And it was kind of like Cody and Jeremy they got in each other's way for the rebound. But look, it was a good aggressive play by Jeremy. And truthfully, they probably could have called a foul on Porzingis, but they did not. Then Porzingis scored and got a foul as well, which he converted the free throw. That put New York up by 12 points, 93-81. Then Jeremy turned it on a little bit. Somebody passed him the ball across the court. He had to jump extremely high to save the ball. He did save the ball. It ended up resulting in a hockey assist where Jeremy passed the ball to one person. Then that person passed it to Jeremy Lamb for, I believe, a three-pointer. So that cut the score down to 95-85. Then Jeremy got a little too lost on defense, and they mentioned this on the Hornets television broadcast. Jeremy was playing against Langston Galloway, who's a very good three-point shooter. Jeremy went to help on defense against Carmelo Anthony in the low post. Carmelo was playing against Batum, I believe. Jeremy went down to help. Carmelo threw the ball out to Galloway, and then Galloway hit a three-pointer. Jeremy wasn't able to get back out there and really defend the three-pointer. You have to be careful with that. You have to know who's out there. Who are you playing against? Galloway is a very good three-point shooter, so you have to be careful when you leave him open. Many times you don't want to leave him. In other words, you stay with him rather than go double team. But look, it happens, and Jeremy did his best to get back out there. Just that's the play. That's what ended up happening. Okay, then Kemba Walker hit a shot to 98-87 Knicks, so the Hornets were down 11 points then. Then Jeremy hit a nice little floater shot in transition. He was attacking hard again. That cut the lead to 98-91 for the Knicks. Timeout for the Knicks at that point in time, 3 minutes and 53 seconds left. Then Jeremy just missed a fadeaway jump shot over Langston Galloway. But after that play, Hornets came back down. Nick Batum hit a three-pointer. That cut the score down to 98-94. Only 4 points there. That was as close as Charlotte was going to get. Jeremy then had a nice defensive play against Aaron Aflalo, caused Aaron Aflalo to miss a jump shot. But then from there, the Knicks scored the final 4 points of the game, and they closed out the win 102-94. As I said, look, Jeremy had a couple tough moments in this game, and that's fine. That happens all the time. He played well. He played hard. He made a real difference in this game because of his aggressiveness. The turnovers, again, the one turnover was totally bogus. He should have gotten a foul call on him, so that he should have only had one turnover in this game. He could have had 8 or 9 assists in this game easily. So I have no problems with assists or turnovers and the ratio tonight. Like I said, the only thing here is be sharp on defense, although everybody makes 1 or 2 mistakes in a game. Know who you're helping off of in terms of leaving guys open for three-point shots. Keep working on your three-point shot. Other than that, Jeremy played well tonight. Even though his PER will go down a little bit, he played a good game. He deserved to be out there a lot of minutes. He deserved to be the finishing group tonight, and he was. And so it was good to see that, even though the team lost. It's just the Knicks got hot late, and the Knicks they're a talented team. They're a talented team. Now let's go home to Charlotte and try to get a 3-game winning streak going at least, because there's at least that coming up for the Hornets. Definitely 3 winnable games in a row, and they're going to have even more games than that in a row at home. In fact, I'm looking at it right now, and they're going to have 7 straight games at home. Now, not all the teams are going to be as easy as the first 3 teams, but the next 3 games coming up: Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Sacramento. They definitely should beat Brooklyn and Philadelphia. There's no question about that. Sacramento, also not great. They're decent, but they should win. They're going to be favored in all 3 of those games, I would imagine. And it starts tomorrow night against the Brooklyn Nets in Time Warner Cable Arena, Wednesday, November 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States. Again, today's Tuesday, so that's tomorrow, back-to-back game. That means the game will take place Thursday, November 19th at 8 a.m. in Taipei, Taiwan, and throughout China. Let's just get on the plane, get home, try to get a good night's sleep, get ready to win tomorrow. Brooklyn won tonight, and Brooklyn almost beat Golden State recently. So they don't have a good record. They're like 2-8 or 2-9. So definitely a team you should beat, but they will come in with some confidence, and nobody's going to have the advantage. Brooklyn played tonight also, so both teams are on a back-to-back. They're both flying in from New York City. Brooklyn's game ended about 20 minutes before Charlotte's game ended tonight, so no real advantage. Just go in tomorrow and try to get back to 500. Just try to get back to 500, and then let's go from there. For Jeremy, good game. There's nothing to think about. There's no worries, no particular anything. He knows what he has to do. He played well tonight. I'm glad that Steve Clifford stayed with him. And let's just go into tomorrow and try to keep it going. Try to keep it rolling, particularly the way he played in the first half. And look, the referee's got to give more calls. I mean, he's aggressive with the ball in the second half. He just wasn't getting as many calls as he got in the first half. So that's about it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. We will put information for highlights of this game in the video description below the video player, so you can go check it out. Your comments below. What did you think about this game? Are you excited as I am? What did you see? Maybe you saw something that I missed. Thanks to Gary Chen for the artwork you're looking at right now. Gary is a member of the Jeremy Only Lin Garden fan group, and you will find information about Gary and about Jeremy Only Lin Garden fan group in the video description below the video player, so you can go learn more about Gary and the group. Also in the video description, how you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group and how you can come follow us on Twitter. We were talking to people during this game. Once again, I am PFE Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Look, I'm as satisfied as I can be in a loss. The Hornets missed three-point shots. They missed free throws. It's going to happen sometimes. The bench played well tonight, and that's really a good sign for the team. They need to play well. For this team to be as good as it's capable of being, the bench must play well. And tonight they really did that. So I'm definitely happy about that. And the starters, look, I mean, you're not going to have it every single night. The starters have done a good job this season. So there's a lot of positives to take out of this game. Hopefully the team will shoot a little bit better tomorrow night. And for Jeremy Lin, just keep going. Just keep hoping that the jump shots drop a little bit more your way in the time to come. But the attitude Jeremy had tonight was perfect. Very aggressive, not tentative on anything. If you're going to miss shots, miss them clean. Just don't have any hesitation. Take your shots and just keep shooting. Just keep shooting and keep working on your technique on the days in between. Okay, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow night. Brooklyn Nets, definitely a game that the team should win and need to win. And then, like I said, we're back to 500. The bottom of the East right now, like the playoff seeds, the number 8 seed, which is the final seed in the East, is probably around 500, maybe a game over 500. So if the Hornets are playing 500 basketball, 6-6, 5-5, 4-4, they're in a good position. They want to get better than that, but as long as they're hanging around that, they're okay. And then hopefully as the season goes along, the team chemistry will improve more and more, and they'll start to play even better as the year goes along. So let's get to 500 tomorrow and take it from there. That is it for now. As I said earlier, talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night or great day wherever you are around the world. We'll see you again soon.